All right, everybody, welcome to the By the Minute Mixed Martial Arts Show. We're on for the second time this week. We had Amanda Bobby Cooper on yesterday, and we got Brett Johns returning today. How are you today, Brett?
I'm very fine, yeah, very good. Ready for March 18th. Can't wait to get in there and get the job done.
Yeah, March 18th, Ian Entwistle at UFC London at the O2 Arena. Do you have any idea at the moment where on the card you are?
I've looked on Wikipedia and a few other stuff. I think I'm not too sure, but when I looked at it, I think it was like maybe one or two fights before the main card. But it doesn't matter to me whether first or last. I don't really care, you know. As long as I get in there, get to put my hands in him, I'm fine, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because when I saw the announcement, it was kind of like, because it came so late, it just kind of seemed to be thrown at the bottom. But it doesn't seem like they've sorted out the order yet. But
yeah, I'm not too sure. I saw it on Wikipedia, but I think that is like it's a bit inaccurate, you know.
yeah, fair. Well, I guess we'll see over the next couple of weeks. So,
Yeah.
so what's been happening since November? You seem to have been doing a few media rounds.
Yeah, I just been, you know, going around doing my own thing, really. You know, like I said, I've been doing a few Welsh channels, but in my opinion, I'm just doing my own little work. Like, you know, I'm just trying to promote it myself. You know, the UFC give you jobs, but like, I'm trying to do it myself for my home country. You know, not a lot of people have heard a lot about MMA, so I'm just trying to kind of, I don't know, develop a sort of fan base down here. You know, and it's worked. You know, I got no other media obligations now until the fight. So that's like, and this weekend just gone was probably the last weekend of any media obligations. And like I said, I've been training so hard for this fight. You know, come March 18th, I say it all the time, but come March 18th, there's no excuses from me. There's none at all. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw on, is it S4C? I'm sure there's a Welsh way to say that. You were on the Jonathan show with Jonathan Edwards, Hugh
Jonathan
Stevens.
Davis.
Jonathan Davis, sorry, I'm
Yes,
getting the triple jumper. What's going on? So, yeah, you seem to be quite comfortable in your own skin on the TV. So, looked like you had a good time.
Obviously, I'm not very. Well, I say I'm not very confident Welsh speaker. I can speak Welsh fine, you know, I'm fluent Welsh, but sometimes I'm not confident enough when I go on TV. But I felt like that was a good interview. You know, he's a legend in Wales, and I thought it was an amazing little interview. So.
I think he's a legend everywhere, to be honest, even though me as not a rugby fan kind of screwing up his name there, but these things happen. But yeah, so what's a day in the life like at the moment? You've got about 3 weeks till the fight. How many hours a day are you training? What does a day look like for you at the moment?
I train roughly about 3 times a day, maybe 5 days a week, and on the Saturday I might do two or three sessions, but that's it, like, you know.
So, yeah, definitely keeping yourself busy.
That's basically it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's no other way to say that. But like, no, I'm doing a lot of different sort of sessions, different styles of sessions, you know, and it's been tough. This camp's been hard, you know. But like I said, I got no excuses. You know what I mean? It's been a hard, tough one, and I'm looking forward to get. This is the bit I hate about 3 weeks before the fight. I actually hate it because this is where my diet really goes intense, and I get into the really intense bit of the diet, you know, and the training gets just as hard. So it's quite a thing, you know. But come March 18th, March 18th / 19th, after I'm done, I'm going to be a happy man, and this is all going to be worth it, you know. I'm sorry, I keep wiping my nose. I got a bit of a cold, I have, so.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Just hope it clears up pretty quickly. So, Ian Entwistle, this will be the first England-Wales fight in UFC, which will be quite an interesting dynamic in itself. Obviously, in your first fight, there was a lot of takedowns, a lot of grappling against Kwan Ho Kwak. Ian Entwistle's quite a slippery ground guy. So, what's your thoughts on a guy with 7 submission wins? Do you like the matchup?
Yeah, I like the matchup. You know, he's a dangerous opponent. Well, you're in the UFC now. Any fight's a dangerous fight. You know, but with Ian, I find that I don't think the grappling is much of a difference. You know, I've grappled all my life. You know, but I will say that obviously the heel hooks are something I've looked at, and but like I said, I'm very lucky. I've got 2-time EBI competitor Ashley Williams in my camp, who is a guy who's renowned for his grappling ability, and he loves a heel hook. You know, I've been basically drilling with him for the last, say, 6-7 weeks on heel hooks. You know, and like I said, it's one of the things now where when I start my camp, I'm very weak in an area, but by the end of camp, I'm very strong, and we get into that same sort of ability. Well, I'll rinse and rinse and rinse, you know. But, you know, I do see the fight being a bit wild. It's going to be a wild, crazy little fight, you know, because Ian comes and like I said, he throws some crazy stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, you know. The Quack fight, it was quite a quick-paced start to the fight, but it was still quite technical.
Yeah.
This, I feel like, will be a faster-paced fight, but it'll be a bit more barbaric, you know.
Yeah, I think so, definitely, because like Ian does have the 7 submission wins in his career, but he's a fast starter as well. So, and he doesn't let the pace relent as well. So it certainly lends itself to an interesting fight if you're a neutral anyway watching the fight. So,
yeah, like I said, you know, it's just gonna be it's gonna be different. You know, I have fought guys like that in the past where they've come out like a bullet in a china shop, but then I fought other guys who have been like, you know what, we've taken more of a relaxed fight. I think I fought Gutierrez, and I was more of a relaxed start, but I don't see it being anything like that, you know. And I'm very confident with the matchup. I know a lot of fighters in the bantamweight division trying to avoid that because of that heel hook scenario. But you know, at the end of the day, I see me winning in about 3 different ways. I see him winning one way. You know, that's the only way I see him winning. And you know, if I'm honest, I've drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled. I've had nightmares with these heel hooks. You know what I mean? So. It's gonna be a tough one. Don't get me wrong, but like Ian's never got out the first round, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got left in that 4th minute of that first round. You know.
yeah, definitely. What do you think the atmosphere will be like? Obviously, this will. You've been on the road before when you fought in America with Titan FC, but this might be quite an interesting atmosphere with the England Wales dynamic in the O2. But I'd expect there's going to be a travelling Welsh contingent as well.
Yeah, I'll bring. I'm bringing a lot of people up there. Like I said, I know we're in London. I know the fans might get behind Ian. At the end of the day, the way I look at it is, whether they boo or cheer, I'm not going to be a happy man as long as they're making noise on that night. And I'm sure when I walk out, I'm not sure how many people are going to be there. I'm not sure if you guys know if it's going to be some sort of estimate of how many people are there. Do you know?
Probably. I'm trying to think. In fact, let me Google what the attendance was last year.
Yeah, because that's what I'd like to know. I'm guessing maybe about 17,000, 18,000.
I was going to guess about 18,000. So
Yeah, maybe about much.
let me see. This is just the geek number side of me trying to find, to be honest. 14,004 line. So, well.
Oh. Was that what Silver has been?
Yeah.
There you go. Probably about that much. I say about that much, maybe a bit less. You know, I know this card has had a bit of stick as well. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, for me, there's some cracking fights in this card, and just because there's maybe that not that big name who's on the card, maybe people don't want to tune in and watch. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna watch Corey Anderson and Jimmy Manuwa. That's gonna be a fight.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
You're gonna watch Gasser versus Japan. That's another good. And to finish off the 3 of them, the last 3 fights in the card, you got Pickett versus Briones. That's another good. You know, so people should UFC.
Yeah.
For the fair.
When you look at that, like we got Anderson and Joe back on as the co-main event, that's a nice styles clash. So that's going to be interesting. Manuwa and Anderson's going to be a war. Manuwa coming off the best knockout of his career, and I think Corey Anderson coming off the best performance of his career. So there's certainly a lot of intrigue with that. Brad Pickett's last fight.
He's not. Like, I'm telling you, like I said, I trained with Brad a few weeks ago. That fight will definitely be fight of the night. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. There's me in my head. I kind of like sit there and think, oh, you know, that nice little 50k bonus would be lovely, but I ain't getting it through the fight of the night. You know what I mean? I think that's going towards Pickett and Briones because the pair of them, they both come to fight and they both throw shots, like, and they're quite heavy-handed. The pair of them. I went up to train with obviously Pickett in London, and he caught me with like a left hook, I think it was, behind the ear, and I was like, whoa, hello, you know, like, you get them little moments. But no, you know, I see that being the fight of the night. But then again, you know, I want to put a good, you know, I felt like in Belfast they did put a good performance in. Maybe I didn't get the finish, but I definitely felt like I definitely put a good performance in. I want to put a stamp on this next one. I want to put some sort of stamp on the fight. I want people to really go, wow. You know, that you know, from November to now, you know, people were kind of like slagging off the stand-up area of my game, which I totally understand. You know, at the end of the day, you can't be one-dimensional in this game. But I went back to the drawing board. I worked on that, and I've come back. And arguably in that second round, I beat the stand-up guy in his own game. You know, and I proved a point to people that, look, you know, I am improving on different things. Just because you don't see me doing it doesn't mean I'm not doing it.
And Kwan Ho Kwak had the freakiest chin since like the Korean Zombie. So
I don't understand how that guy was still standing.
Yeah.
You know, people say about my punching power. They are like, you know, I lack in punching power. I can tell everybody here now. If I throw my best shot and it lands on someone's chin, they'll be going out to sleep. You know, that's the honest truth. It's just you get some scenarios where that don't work, and I can honestly say that I hit Quack with my hardest punches, and he still stood there and smiled. So, you know, I take my hat off to him. I said after the fight, I said, I hit you with some hard shots, and he was going, yeah, I know, I felt them, but I was like, you know, that guy. I just maybe it might be just a South Korean thing, you know what I mean? I don't even know what they do there. If they got some conditioning for their chins, I don't know, but it's working whatever they're doing.
Because you see, when you see the Korean Zombie come back, Kwan Ho Kwak in your fight, Do Ho Choi against Cup Swansea, there's something there, isn't there?
Whatever they're doing, I want to know. So I want to try and get some of that in my life. You know what I mean?
We could all use that, to be honest. So,
yeah.
So Saturday, March 18th for UFC London. Just having a quick run through the card. We got Joseph Duffy as well with Rita Madadi. It's a good fight. Veronica Macedo and Lena Landsberg. There's absolutely no excuse to look down your nose at this card. To be honest, I always think when you put on, like we said earlier, when you put on a fight like Bisping and Anderson Silva as the main event, you're always going to have a come down in terms of the main event. But
yeah, totally agree.
When you look up and down this card, there's a lot to like.
Yeah, I like that Duffy and Madadi. How do you say it? Reza Madazi? Mad Dog. They call it Mad Dog.
Mad Dog, yeah.
Yeah. So that Duffy and Mad Dog fight, I like, you know, but I was lucky. I think I was like a 7th pro fight, and I sat down. I had the privilege of having Duffy wrap my hands before that fight. He was like when we were fighting for Cage Warriors,
right?
And he's just a nice, genuine guy. And even this camp, he's been messaging me. You know, better man, I haven't seen the guy for a few years. He still messages me. He still sees what's up. You know, and I appreciate that. You know, especially when some fighters go to their own camp just to take 5 minutes, give me a message, see how I'm doing. It's brilliant. You know, you got Mark Jacasey, yeah, he's another guy. I watched his fight in Bama when he fought Kane Musa, whatever his name is, and he knocked him out in like 30 seconds or whatever it was. It was like quite a quick stoppage in Bama. It was his last fight before he went to the UFC. Like that guy's got potential, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely. The thing that impressed me about Jacasey last time out was, I mean, he had a complete highlight reel performance at UFC Manchester.
Yeah.
Then when he fought in Albany a couple of months later, he really had to grind out the win, and it's always good. Always good to see that.
He fought a guy called something Perez or something like that. It was like, I can't remember his name, but he was good. You know, the pair of them, that was a good matchup. They were both equally matched, and he did dig deep in that fight. You know, it was a close fight, but I did kind of give it to Mark, but it was a close fight. You know.
Yeah, I think if I remember rightly, I think I had Mark losing the first round and winning the last two, and it was a perfect matchup, to be honest, especially at that stage of Mark's career as well. So
yeah, exactly. You know, like I said, he's got another tough fight. I think he's fighting a Finnish guy. Yeah,
he's got Timu Packalin. So
yeah, it's another tough fight he's going to have, and like if he keeps going through the ranks like this, they're going to get harder and harder. You know, so it'd be a nice little stoppage for him in this one now. That'll kind of set him right. But no, there's some good fights there, and I'm loving the fights on UFC London. I remember when my fight was announced by UFC, and I was reading through the comments. I love having a little read through the comments. And like one guy said, and they were all like, "We're rubbish card, or get my ticket money back, or this and that." But like, you buy UFC tickets to watch good fights. You don't buy UFC tickets. You know, like I know the Anderson Silva fight, for example. I know 1 or 2 people that said, "Oh, look, I just want to watch Anderson Silva fight," and I understand that. But like, you know, like you said earlier, it's going to hard to top Bisping and Silva. Not just the fight itself, because the fight itself was like fight of the year, you know what I mean? Not just the fight itself. What I mean is like, you know, you ain't going to top the names like that. You know?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? After that, Bisping went to win the middleweight title. Silva's gone on his own little thing, but Anderson was one of the greatest of all time. So no matter what happens to him, he's still going to be what people are going to still want to watch him.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just impossible to match that name, and unless you're having a Bisping title defense, you're never going to match that.
No.
And realistically, they're never going to do a middleweight title fight on a what outside of here is going to be on Fight Pass in the US.
Yeah.
So especially when you've got that murderer's row at middleweight.
Yeah, like I said, everybody. I'll leave you two that I think that are going to be like they fought each other. They're beasts at the weight. But it's Jacare.
Yeah.
And obviously Yoel Romero. What can you say about them too? Like, you know, them guys are absolute sharks in that division.
Yeah. Sticking with the middleweight division, a couple of weeks ago, was it last week or the week before in Halifax when Jack Marshman fought Thiago Santos.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the stoppage there?
I didn't think it was a stoppage. I've watched it back a few times. You can argue and say, look, at the end of the day, the ref's there for your safety.
Yeah.
But then again, it's two ways you look at it. He's there for your safety, but you're also a professional and you've been in that scenario before. So, like, at the end of the day, I know Jack as a fighter, and I know he wanted to watch it continue. You know, it'd be nice to see. You know, I don't know the fight. If the ref had left it, Jack could have been put unconscious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But we don't know that now. You know, and I felt like it was an early stop. It's not to say the referee was a rubbish referee. He wasn't a rubbish referee. He was quite a good referee. You know, but it's just they got to go off the reactions. And what happened, like I said, I don't know, but what I think that happened was the fact that, you know, Santos threw the spinning kick. It looked massive. You heard and then he gets dropped. So like the referee's not, you know, if you look at the video back, Jack's put his hands down to kind of break his fall. When you get dropped properly and you're hurt, you don't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was an early stoppage. It would have been nice to see what happened in the third round. But what I was most impressed with was the fact that Jack was fighting a guy who was in the top 15.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like Jack isn't far away from their big fights. You know, at the end of the day, did he look as if he was out of place? Because he sure as hell didn't to me. You know, he looked as if he belonged there. I
thought he won the first round, to be honest.
Yeah. Because obviously they got new rule sets. Apparently, you know, I personally thought that was a close one.
Yeah, it was close.
Sure if you obviously because Santos took him down, but then again, you look at the damage that Jack caused around and buckled him, and you know what I mean. So there's two ways you can look at it. But yeah, I've spoken to obviously Shaky, just asked about Jack and that because of he's a nice guy as well. He's an absolute gentleman, like, you know, and it's going to be great to see him come back from this. I just think it was one of them losses where, like, one of my teammates fought the weekend at made for the cage, Scott Pedersen. He lost by a decision for a really good guy. But it was one of them losses where, you know, Chris, my coach, sat back and said, that was okay. You know, you're going to take him, you're going to learn a lot from it, and you're going to come back, you know. And I felt like with the Marshman fight in Santos, that was very similar. You know, yes, okay, you know, he did lose the fight. But I think he took a lot of positives from that, you know what I mean? Like Jack said before, I think he lost before the last loss. The last one he lost was 4 years ago. He went on a 4-year winning streak. So, like I said, it's only gonna feed the fire, really. You know, obviously the feeling of losing absolutely sucks, like, you know. So it's gonna be great to see what fight comes next. I know he's got some time off now, and it'd be nice to see what's next for Jack.
Yeah, and obviously we've had a third Welsh fighter signed to UFC, John Phillips. I'll be honest, I know very little about John Phillips except for his mouth, which seems to be quite interesting. Do you have a bit of background on him? I know he called out Jack Marshman before.
Yeah, no, I know John. I know John very well. You know, John's the type of guy that could punch you in your big toe and knock you clean unconscious. He's got that power. You know what I mean? And yeah, John is an amazing ass. He's an amazing person to watch fight. You know, like I said, the guy's got, you know, for pound, like knockout power in the UFC. John's number one in my opinion. You know what I mean? That guy just got that crazy power. He's just gifted and just knocking people out. You know what I mean? And I obviously he was going to fight Rodrigo de Lima.
Yeah.
I think it was, but obviously visa issues kind of stopped that. But that would have been a good fight to see. John do, you know, would be a tough little Brazilian guy to fight. But I don't know what's happening with John at the minute. I think I'm not too sure, but I think he's a little bit injured. So it'd be nice to see who John has next. You know, I mean, I'm a big fan when it comes to UFC anyway. You know,
yeah.
what I mean? I'm an absolute geek when it comes to the UFC. So it's really nice to see who they give. I'm not sure whether he's having that light heavyweight fight or if he is going to go back to the middleweight. We'll see what happens there. But no, it's going to be nice to see the pair of them fight. You know, and there's other guys coming through the ranks. The Welsh guys coming through the ranks as well. So there's a lot of good amateur guys who are coming through, and obviously Jack Shaw, Josh, the two pros that are doing quite well at the minute. So it's going to be interesting to see where we are as a nation in 12 months' time. You know.
Yeah, you kind of answered my next question. I was going to ask about who was coming through next from Wales, but there's definitely a lot of talent there. And despite Jack's loss, I think he made a good impression in his fight, and things are definitely looking up. So.
Yeah, that it's like I said. When he says he comes to fight, he's not joking. Like,
yeah.
You know, he does fight. You know, I'll be honest, and I'll kind of hold my hand up here. There's a lot of fighters say they come to fight and they go and then they just get the job done. I'm one of them guys that just do. You know what I mean? And Jack says, "Look, I come to fight," and he does come to fight. You know, but my next fight on March 18th, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna put a performance on that. Now, it's gonna be a very similar performance to the Quano Quack, and everybody loved that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've had a stick in the past where I've been boring, but I've got what I've got by winning, and that's what's giving me the name I've got now. You know, but the Quack fight was one of the fights where I got to showcase different things, and I'm looking to keep that ball rolling and doing the same sort of thing again.
Definitely. So, assuming everything goes well on March 18th, what's next?
I got a name that I'd like obviously to call out. You know what I mean? And it's where I like to do it, but I'm gonna save that till after the fight.
Quite right.
Keep you guys on edge.
Quite right.
But it's not a personal call out. You know what I mean? It was just a fight that I looked at and I think, okay, I like that. But I can't look past Ian Edmiston. You know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy's a dangerous guy. You know what I mean? So I'm not counting my eggs before they hatch. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna put that performance on. You know what I mean? Because obviously there's two ways this road can go. You've got a plan A and a plan B. You've got to win and you've got to lose. You've got to plan off them things. And I'm a strong believer of planning doing routes, plan A, plan B. You know?
Yeah, definitely. So now that you're getting to that point, you said earlier that you're like 3 weeks out of the fight. You're on Instagram doing the middle finger at a bit of cake, you know.
Yeah.
What do you do to kind of keep yourself sane as you're going through the sort of I'm dieting, going through the weight cutting process?
I'm not sane. I'm insane in a minute. I'm going absolutely crazy. No, I'm a big lover of food. You know what I mean? And obviously Belfast was a great cut, and I'm just following the same sort of scenario as that. You know, I'm not eating crap food. In my opinion, yeah, I'm about an average, maybe a little bit more bigger sized bantamweight. You know what I mean? And like I said, my abs are starting to come through again now, so I look in good shape in the morning. So, like I said, it's just part of the job. You know what I mean? And it sucks to me. You know, I love to be that guy that when someone goes, "Oh, how much you walk around now?" Well, I walk around at 70 kilos. He walks around at 70 kilos. Then why don't we just fight at 70 kilos? But that's not going to happen anytime soon. So.
Yeah.
I just got to keep going, keep drinking my water, keep going, and eventually, you know, like I said, come March 18th, 19th, it'll all be over. You know, as soon as I weigh in, I get to eat the similar sort of food, and after the fight, then I get to enjoy my little bit of cheesecake or, you know what I mean, something like that. But I think what I need to change up is after fights, maybe getting into a different diet where I can maintain my weight, because I did go big after Christmas. I jumped up to about 12 stone. That's a little bit too big for me. I'm about 11 stone waking up in the morning now, and I got to be 9 stone 6. So I've got 1 stone I have to go until London. But it's the same sort of way I did for track. Really, you know, I'm not missing out on anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm going for food tonight with my girlfriend and my cousin and his girlfriend. I'll probably just go there and I'll have a bit of chicken and, you know, veg. I won't eat no carb. I just like if I haven't trained. So, you know what I mean? It's just ways I got to adapt around, you know.
Yeah.
If I wasn't in camp, I'd go home, I'd eat a bar of chocolate, and then I'd go out for food, and I'd super load on carbs, but I need to start changing things out, especially if I want to keep fighting at bantamweight, which is what I do want to keep fighting at bantamweight. You know, I don't struggle. Well, I've always struggled to cut weight, but then in Belfast it was absolutely strange. I wasn't sure if it was because it was my first UFC fight or if it was, but I was okay. You know, I can tell you now, the morning of a weigh-in, I can't usually talk. I can't talk. I'm that bad. But Belfast, I was singing in the bath, so I don't know what was the difference there. You know.
Yeah, fair. Well, so you feel like you're on plan for the same sort of smooth descent into it.
I'm feeling a little bit thinner. And abs are coming back slowly, but no, it's the same sort of plan. You know what I mean? And just gonna keep going. You know, like I said, I say I'm waking up at about 11, so I'm a bit lighter than that, really. You know, I'm just thinking of the worst case scenario. But I think, like I said, I waited a couple of days ago. I weighed 69 and a half, and I know that's it's like one. I want to be around now. I'll be happy if I wake up at 155. I'm not waking up. I'm waking up a lot. Well, probably about 153 and a half. So you know what I mean. It's just coming down. I aim for about 9 days before to be about 150. No, sorry, 11 days before. So 9 days before 150, and then cut it down from there. So it's all good. You know what I mean. I'm just like I said. I'm on track now. I'll be happy when that week is over in London. That up to weighing in is over. I'm gonna be happy. And then it's up to the fight then, and it's all fun and games, you know?
Definitely, yeah. So, when you were talking about staying in the bantamweight division, I think there's a case to be made at the moment when you look at the top of the bantamweight division and you go down to sort of 10, 15, that's perhaps the most interesting division in UFC at the moment. I think there's absolutely a case to be made for that. And when you go back to UFC 207 and you see TJ Dillashaw's performance against John Lineker, I thought that was one of the best bantamweight performances I've ever seen in my life. And then next fight, Cody Garbrandt tops it against Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
What if you're looking at that end of the bantamweight division? What do you see as your sort of arrival point to be in that sort of top 5, top 10 mix?
I'm not too sure, man. It's a tough one. Like
Absolutely.
I look at that top 20 list and I think, oh, there's a lot of sharks there, you know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, I've never feared no man. There's only one person I've ever feared in my life, and that's my mother. But you know, everybody else is it's a job. You know, it's nothing personal to me. It's just a job, and I got to go out there and I got to knock everybody off one by one.
Yeah.
You know, so it starts with the end whistle on March 18th, and I'll work my way down to that number 1 spot.
Definitely. So, we will let you go just now. You're in a restaurant at the moment, aren't you?
I'm in a restaurant. Basically it's a quite a popular restaurant in South Wales. So the Roma Fish Bar is called. My brother's the manager here, and the family who run the restaurant are very close to me as well. So I've used their Wi-Fi for this interview, so I'm sure they're going to be happy. I'm just giving them a shout out anyway.
I'll stick a link to their website in the
in
the YouTube. Why not? Have you got any plugs you want to put out as well?
No, I just want to obviously it's the same sort of thing with me. I want to thank my friends and family, my girlfriend, and the teams I train out of. You know, the SOC and Christmas Academy. You know, a heads up actually. A big shout out to obviously Brad and Team Titan who helped me a few weeks ago. Just a little shout out there because I enjoyed my week up there, but mostly, you know, my teams back home who have put up with me since day one. I want to thank them, and you know, Chris Reese, Ashley Williams, the full-time team, my father. You know what I mean? I like my family. You know, they've been there from the start through thick and thin. You know.
Yeah. So well, always a pleasure to talk to you, Brett.
No, thank you for having me. You know what I mean? So I had a bit of an issue with Skype earlier. I was thinking, when are you going to call me? And then I realised that I wasn't even logged in on my Skype. So I was like, oh, that's why. You know?
These things happen.
Yeah.
These things happen.
No,
I had an issue yesterday with audio, so it's all been happening this weekend. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the rugby's been on as well, and we haven't done too well in that either. So I'm having a nightmare down here as well.
I have to tell you, when I'm not doing this, I run quiz nights, okay, and I live just south of Edinburgh, and the Welsh weekend when Scotland play Wales is always a brilliant one, and yeah. I run a quiz night in my town on a Thursday night, and it's always full of Welsh people. So I spent about 2 hours learning how to say. I spent about 2 hours learning how to say the longest place name in
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 Wales?
the UK. And yeah,
That
the one
might,
in Wales.
that might put doing a Cogerich with Roma Fish Bar.
Yeah.
That one.
I spent 2 hours because we always get a lot of Welsh people in.
Yeah.
Not a soul on Thursday night. I was devastated.
Oh, no, they were there, were they?
None of them there. None of them there. But
Oh,
then yesterday when the game was on, the place was absolutely bouncing. I
oh,
mean, we've got people who come up here. Like we're a town 20 miles south of Edinburgh, and we've got people who come up here every 2 years. Don't even leave the town. They just come up for the
the band.
weekend. It's always
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, also.
Yeah, it's always brilliant. So, yeah, I was gonna. I asked on Thursday about how many letters were in the town name, and there was no Welsh
Yeah.
people who appreciate it. So I was a bit disappointed, I must say.
No,
But
no. That's the bane of my life every time I'm going to say that word.
oh, horrendous, horrendous. But yeah, I'm not even going to try it, to be honest. Although, but yeah, so we'll let you go just now. Thanks very much, Brett.
No, thank you. Like I said, thank you for having me. It's been absolutely amazing. I enjoy having a chat with everybody about it. So
Yeah. Good luck for March 18th. Hope you get a win, and hope
yeah,
you're on to even bigger and even better things after that.
yeah. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Nice one. Take care.
Thank you. See you soon, mate.